بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا أما بعد. Allah the Glorious, the Most High, the Exalted says أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ومن أحسن قولا ممن دعا إلى الله وعمل صالحا وقال إنني من المسلمين. Allah tells us ومن أحسن قولا أي لا أحد أحسن قولا من هذا وصفه. Allah says, who is better? Who is more virtuous? Who is more excellent? Who can say something or do something which is better? ممن دعا إلى الله, than the one who invites people to Allah, calls people to Allah. وعمل صالحا, and this caller to Allah is righteous. They do the right thing. They perform the good deeds. وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ, and he proclaims, he professes, he declares, I am from the Muslims. I am a Muslim. Allah tells us in this verse, no one has a greater and better and more virtuous standing than the one who is a Muslim, the one who practices what he preaches, and the one who preaches. Now we all know the virtue of da'wah, that is an excellent thing to do. We all know the importance of it. We all know the obligation of it and the responsibility of it. What we want to say and share with you in these few words is that many people, they only look at da'wah from half of the spectrum, one-sided. When they talk about calling people to Islam, to Allah, whether it's non-Muslims to be Muslims, whether it's ignorant Muslims to learn, sinful Muslims to be righteous, Muslims upon innovation to be upon sunnah, etc., they only think about the people that they call and the benefit of those who are called. And they don't realize that da'wah is a service and it's a benefit to the caller first. You benefit from da'wah before anyone else. When you call people to the path of Allah, you're helping yourself. You're benefiting yourself. Your iman is growing. Your Islam is becoming stronger. And it forces you to have more self-critical, more self-evaluation. How is this, you may ask? If I call someone, I tell my Christian grandmother, Grandma, accept Islam. You know that you've seen the changes of Islam upon me. You know what the Quran says, I've explained to you. You know that we believe in Jesus as well. Just be a Muslim. Be a Muslim. Or you tell a Muslim who doesn't pray that you have to make salah. You're not missing anything by going to the masjid. The streets are going to be the streets. The business is going to be the business. Whatever you do is the same. Cab, whatever you do that preoccupies you from Allah's dhikr, you're not going to miss it when you come to the masjid. You think about helping people, calling people, inviting people. But in actuality, you're helping yourself first and foremost. And that's because one of the ugliest things to think and feel about yourself is hypocrisy. You feel bad, you feel negative. How can I teach people? How can I call people? How can I invite people? And I'm not that righteous myself. I'm not doing the right thing myself. I tell people to learn and study. I'm not learning and study. I tell people to come to the masjid. I don't come to the masjid. I tell people it's haram to do this, but I do it myself. And that's when the shaitan comes and he tricks you. And he gets you to leave off doing the deed and leave off calling others towards it. You yourself perform the munkar, وَلَا تَنْهَى عَنْهُ. أنت تترك المعروف ولا تأمر به. أنت الآن وقعت في كم؟ ثنتين. Shaitan now got you into two holes. The first, you're not doing it. And the second, because I'm such a hypocritical person, أتأمرون الناس بالبر وتنسون أنفسكم وأنتم تتلون الكتاب أفلا تعقلون. So therefore, I don't want to be a hypocrite. Usama ibn Zayd radiallahu anhu narrated that the Messenger of Allah told us that in the hellfire there will be a man, وَلِيَذُ بِاللَّهِ تَنْدَلِقُ أَقْتَابُهُ, his intestines will be out of his belly, and he will walk around the fire كَمَا يَدُورُ الْحِمَارِ, like a ground mill. And the people of the hellfire, they would get around him. The hadith is in Bukhari and Muslim. It says, Ya fulan malaka, why are you here? Think about this now. How crazy this is, how scary this is. They will see this Muslim, this righteous person in the hellfire, and they would say, why are you here? Imagine that now. If you see a Muslim in a very dodgy place, a scary place, what are you doing here? I know I'm here, but why are you here? How are you in here with us? And he would explain to the people that he didn't practice what he used to preach. Do the good, but he didn't do it himself. Stay away from evil, and he himself stayed away from evil. And that's haq, that's true. But the shaitan tricks you. He tricks you. You have a shortcoming. You have a mistake. You have a flaw. So therefore, I'm not going to give da'wah. I'm not going to teach. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to tell anyone to do the right thing. The shaitan has now fooled you twice. And one of the virtues of being busy with da'wah is that it forces you to do the right thing. And that's because of the shame and embarrassment. Let me get my act together now. Let me make tawbah. Let me rectify my situation because I'm involved in da'wah. So if there's a Muslim who has a shortcoming or sin or mistake, and you have giving some type of da'wah versus no da'wah, the one that gives some type of da'wah has a closer chance to leaving off that sin and to tawbah. Hu aqrab ila al-islah min al-akhar. He's closer, even though he may not be there yet. He may not have the perfection yet. He may still be doing it, but he has a better chance than the one who says, "Oh, I'm not righteous. I'm not doing the right thing. Let me stay away from it." So this is from the manifestations of this ayah. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. Who is better? Who makes a better statement? Who has a better declaration than the one who calls people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And that's because da'wah, not only does it help the called, the mad'u, but it helps out the what? The da'i, the caller himself. And that's because he has to constantly look at himself. So the moment you think about helping people and looking after people more, you automatically benefit from it yourself. Because you realize it ain't but so much I can do for the people if I'm totally what? Messed up. So da'wah forces critical reflection. Da'wah forces you to review, to revise. There's a khutbah that you have to do this week. You know the surah, you know what it means, but you're standing in front of 500 people, 1,000 people. Now you're going to review it. You're going to brush up. You're going to actually read the tafsir. And if you didn't have to do the khutbah this week, would you go back to the tafsir book? You wouldn't. And you would keep reciting the same surah with the same general meaning. So ta'aleem and da'wah, irshad al-nas, al-khair, tawjihu, calling people to others, it polishes a person. It makes you a better person. It makes you more critical of yourself and allows you to reflect more. Let alone the hasanat that you get. لَأَنْ يَهْدِيَ اللَّهُ بِكَ رَجُلًا وَاحِدًا خَيْرٌ لَكَ مِنْ حُمْرِ نَعَمٍ. If one man accepted Islam, we just had a brother, he said, I was in Africa, he says a whole entire church, the whole village accepted Islam. They took the shahada all at once. Just imagine that. If one man became a Muslim through your efforts, the Prophet says it's better for you than the most expensive, luxurious, worldly thing, a red camel, a prized possession, a Rolls Royce, a Bentley, something that costs so much money. That's better for you than that worldly possession. So you get hasanat by calling to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Also another benefit is that you have an excuse bidden out on the day of judgment. Allah will ask you, why didn't you help out my servants? Why didn't you spread the message? Why were you stingy with my slaves? But before that, and on top of that, is that it forces you to become a better person. And there are many misconceptions with regards to da'wah. Some people think it's only for men. Some people think it's only for the righteous people, or it's only for knowledgeable people. Anyone who's a Muslim has the responsibility of making da'wah on one level or another. Da'wah doesn't always have to be verbal. It can be physical. Da'wah could be through your kind actions, through your professionalism, through how presentable you are. There are many manifestations of da'wah. Through being a businessman. How many countries in which there was no jihad? Callers went to that country through business. They traded with the people. They bought from the people. They sold to the people. And they saw the husn al-khuluq, the good character of the Muslims. He gives me extra in my sack. I only got 1 kilo, but he gave me 1.5 kilos. I dropped my purse. I dropped my sack of coins. He ran after me. He said, hey, take your money. People, they're affected by these actions. They're affected by these deeds. So da'wah isn't just verbal. It can also be physical. And no one is exempt from calling people to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if you claim to be a follower of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Ana wa man ittaba'ani wa subhanallahi wa ma ana min al-mushrikeen. The Prophet was commanded to call to Allah. The Prophet was ordered to invite people to Allah's path. And those who follow me, Allah tells the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, "Qul hadihi sabili." So every Muslim has the obligation of da'wah. The imam is not like the layman. The intermediate person is not like the advanced or the beginner person, but everyone has a responsibility through your character, through how you dress, how you talk, how you walk, how you behave, how you conduct yourself. And most importantly, don't ever forget, is that Allah giving you the ability to call people to Islam is a service for you. It's an honor. It's an honor in which you bear the message about Islam. It's not a disservice. It's not a heavy responsibility. like many brothers may think and feel. I don't want to be an imam, or I don't want to stand in front of the people, or oh, that's not for me, or no, you got the wrong person, or no, I'd rather do this and I'd rather this in honor. For Allah allow you to be the one that saved these people from Allah's wrath. Alhamdulillah alladhi anqadhahu bi min an-nar. He went to visit the Jewish boy who used to serve him, and he was sick. And this goes back to the story of the point of husnul khuluq, good character. He wasn't a Muslim boy, he wasn't from the Ansar, he was a Jewish boy. And the Prophet ﷺ didn't see him. Why hasn't he come to serve me? Maybe he's sick, maybe he's this, maybe he's that. He went to go visit him. And he found that the boy was very, very ill on his deathbed. And he gave dawah to the boy again. Make the shahada. Accept me as the last and final messenger, just like you have accepted Musa ﷺ. There's no difference between me and him. And he told him to accept Islam. And the boy, obviously, he looked towards his father. Do you give me permission, father? Is it okay? And subhanAllah, the amazing part of the story is the Jewish man who did not accept and believe in the Prophet ﷺ allowed his son to accept the messenger's message. Would he have allowed that if the messenger of Allah ﷺ was a vile man, a volatile man, a nasty man, a harsh man, a cruel man? Perhaps Allah softened that man's heart because how well he treated his son that was serving him. And the boy, he looked at his father, he got the approval from his father, and he took the shahada. And that's when the Prophet ﷺ said, Alhamdulillahi alladhi anqadhahu bi min an-nar. All praise is for Allah, all thanks is for Allah, that allowed me to be his deliverance from hell. Allahu Akbar. He used me to save one soul. As we say, reach one what? Teach one. One person. Let alone 2 people, 5 people, 10 people, 100 people that you can save by Allah's permission because of how you dress. Because you hold the door for someone. You say hello to someone. You say good morning to someone. Because you pick up someone's wallet. It's a shocking thing in the airport. You hold the door for a lady and say, oh, thank you. It's such a rare thing. 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago it was normal. Nowadays, people don't do those things no more. And they see that you're a Muslim. They look at your passport, they see your name. That's a means of dawah. And if you have the opportunity to invite them, to call them to Islam, to Tawheed, alhamdulillah, that's what we should all do. And that's because that is one of the greatest things to do. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا أي لا أحد. No one is better, no one is higher than the one who calls to Allah Azza wa Jal. Number 1. Number 2, وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا. Does the right thing himself. Last but not least, وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And he declares that my religion is Islam. That's why I give you your wallet back. Because of Islam. I could have kept it myself. That's why I held the door for you. That's why I didn't cheat you out your money. That's why I'm on time. That's why I perform so well or play so well. Because what? Because my religion teaches me these values. My religion teaches me these values. As that Japanese swordsmith, he said. And he was a mushrik. He says, I'm making this sword. He says, no one can find out that there's a flaw in the steel. And it wasn't folded enough times. No one will be able to tell except for me. He says, but I can't do it until I'm finished. I have to redo it because I can't settle for less for what? Myself. My own standard. That's his religion. His religion is what? Worship of idols, the worship of nature, the worship of one's craft. And we have the worship of Allah Azza wa Jal, the creator of the heavens and the earth. And Allah kataba al-ihsana ala kulli shay. Allah has prescribed perfection and goodness in all things. And this is one of the ways of making dawah. The Muslim shouldn't be second class. The Muslim shouldn't be late. The Muslim shouldn't make excuses. The Muslim shouldn't be sloppy. The Muslim should be the best. And when they're the best, they say we're the best because of our religion. We're honest because of our religion. We do this because of our religion. That's going to have an effect upon those people's hearts. And bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, that will be effective. Inshallah ta'ala. Allah surely knows best. It's a message I want to share with myself. With my beloved brothers here at Masjid At-Taqwa. May Allah Azza wa Jalla keep you all safe, keep you upon a straight path, and make each and every one of you and allow you to be honored with the duty of dawah. Wallahu a'lam.